Well, I'm struggling with sharing this verse with you today. This verse should be my favorite verse in all of Scripture, but it's not. So as a Christian, as we're supposed to die to self daily, I'm going to do my best to make this my favorite scripture of the entire Bible. So it comes out of Proverbs chapter 17, verse 28. Some of you already know what this is. And if you don't, you may have the same struggle as I do. This one's for my wife, Rose. So it reads that even a fool that holds his peace is considered wise. A man that shuts his lips is esteemed and counted a man of understanding. You see, this verse was written by a king, and not just a king. He was one of the wisest and richest kings ever to walk on this planet, King Solomon. And unfortunately for King Solomon, he allowed the riches of this world and his wisdom, his pride, to lead him into temptation and eventually fall away and serve other gods. Now, I would tell you that for me personally, I struggle with holding my peace. My goal is to hold my peace because I think in those moments, I know in those moments, that's when God's working. See, too often when we're trying to change our lives or change other people's lives, there's seasons, and at some point in time, you have to let God work because he does all the work. See, he even used King Solomon to write the book of Proverbs, and he eventually went to serve other gods. So we have to remember that the Bible is inspired by God and used man to write it. But this one verse is crucial to our walk with Christ. To hold our peace, to shut our lips, and to be in awe of God. If you have a desire to seek after him today, his goal is to use you. But unfortunately, it's our pride that gets the best of us too often. We are taught to go into this world because it's a dog-eat-dog world. Eat or be eaten. And the fact is that a life like that brings calluses. It brings calluses to your caring nature as a Christian. It puts walls up and guards yourself from anyone coming in. We get to the point where we're so focused on trying to protect ourselves and our families that in the end we're leading them down the wrong path. To be silent, to be in prayer, and to seek God through his word, asking him, like Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says, to trust in the Lord with all thy heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he's the one that's going to direct your paths. How do I let him direct my paths if I'm always getting in the way and putting obstacles in that path? I do that. So my memory verse for today is Proverbs 17, verse 28. And do my best to keep silent today, to see God work. And I know that outwardly, as I'm speaking this, the enemy knows this as well and is going to do everything he can to try to get me to fall into temptation. And I might. And I'll ask the Lord for forgiveness. It's not about being silent. It's about taming the tongue. Because too often on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, we put our thoughts out there, and some of the thoughts are so wicked and evil, and many of them are coming from Christians. I can't sit here and claim to be a Christian if I'm doing the same evil that evil is being done to me. God tells us, do not combat evil with evil. I need to go to Him in prayer and ask Him to help us with the evil world that we live in. To ask Him to replace the wicked rulers that are putting all these things that we don't agree with on us. And I'm not going to get into specifics, but we all know. I see it on Facebook and on Twitter and on TV. Seek after the Lord today. Use this verse, Proverbs 17, verse 28, for even a fool is considered wise if he keeps his peace. Try that today. Instead of going out there and trying to do the will of man, be still and know that He is God. Let Him go in front of you. And if you want to see some real change, be obedient in His word. Rest in Him. Trust in Him. For He can even use you to do His will. If you don't think that you're worthy, you are worthy. God used a man that served other gods later in life to write in a book that was inspired by God. And that one verse that was written that he wrote inspired me today. And I pray that it inspires you. God bless you.